Hi everyone, you are watching Accent, an arena for communicative English and career related information. This is Tanya Joseph, a teacher of communicative English and career counselor. So everyone, welcome to Accent.
Hi everyone, welcome to Accent, and this is Tanya teacher with you. And today in our second unit, we are doing a very special video, and it is designed in such a way to bring out the best in you. Guess what? See, we all dream of becoming public speakers, right? Of course, it's a cherished dream of everyone to be a great speaker. Or at least, when we stand up and speak, we want that people around us should listen to us in silence and awe. And you know what? They should have that wow feeling about your ideas, your words, your voice clarity, diction, pronunciation, your accent, body language, gestures, and facial expressions. Above all, they should get inspired by you, your words, and your thoughts, right? And that makes you an outstanding speaker. We know many such eminent speakers who influenced lakhs and lakhs of people with their words, such as our Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Swami Vivekananda, Winston Churchill, Martin Luther King Jr. and many more. Well, today I'll introduce you to two such lovely girls of your age who silenced the world with their words. In June 1992, Seven Suzuki, a 12-year-old girl, spoke in the United Nations Earth Summit. She spoke so passionately, saying, "I speak for all generations to come." Now, let us listen to her words.
Hello, I'm Severin Suzuki, speaking for ECHO, the Environmental Children's Organization. We're a group of 12 and 13-year-olds trying to make a difference. Vanessa Setti, Morgan Geisler, Michelle Quigg, and me. We've raised all the money to come here ourselves, to come 5,000 miles to tell you adults you must change your ways. Coming up here today, I have no hidden agenda. I am fighting for my future. Losing my future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. I am here to speak for all generations to come. I am here to speak on behalf of the starving children around the world whose cries go unheard. I am here to speak for the countless animals dying across this planet because they have nowhere left to go. I am afraid to go out in the sun now because of the holes in our ozone. I am afraid to breathe the air because I don't know what chemicals are in it. I used to go fishing in Vancouver, my home, with my dad, until just a few years ago we found the fish full of cancers. And now we hear of animals and plants going extinct, every day vanishing forever. In my life, I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see. Did you have to worry of these things when you were my age? All this is happening before our eyes, and yet we act as if we have all the time we want and all the solutions. I'm only a child, and I don't have all the solutions. But I want you to realize, neither do you. You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert. If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. Here, you may be delegates of your government, business people, organizers, reporters, or politicians, but really, your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, and all of you are someone's child. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all part of a family, 5 billion strong. In fact, 30 million species strong. And borders and governments will never change that. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together and should act as one single world towards one single goal. In my anger, I am not blind, and in my fear, I am not afraid of telling the world how I feel. In my country, we make so much waste. We buy and throw away, buy and throw away, buy and throw away, and yet northern countries will not share with the needy. Even when we have more than enough, we are afraid to share. We are afraid to let go of some of our wealth. In Canada, we live the privileged life, with plenty of food, water, and shelter. We have watches, bicycles, computers, and television sets. The list could go on for 2 days. 2 days ago, here in Brazil, we were shocked when we spent time with some children living on the streets. This is what one child told us. I wish I was rich. And if I were, I would give all the street children food, clothes, medicines, shelter, and love and affection. If a child on the streets who has nothing is willing to share, why are we who have everything still so greedy? I can't stop thinking that these are children my own age, that it makes a tremendous difference where you are born. That I could be one of those children living in the favelas of Rio. I could be a child starving in Somalia, or a victim of war in the Middle East, or a beggar in India. I am only a child, yet I know if all the money spent on war was spent on finding environmental answers, ending poverty, and finding treaties, what a wonderful place this earth would be. At school, even in kindergarten, you teach us how to behave in the world. You teach us not to fight with others, to work things out, to respect others, to clean up our mess, not to hurt other creatures, to share, not be greedy. Then why do you go out and do the things you tell us not to do? Do not forget why you are attending these conferences, who you're doing this for. We are your own children. You are deciding what kind of a world we are growing up in. Parents should be able to comfort their children by saying, everything's going to be all right. It's not the end of the world, and we're doing the best we can. But I don't think you can say that to us anymore. Are we even on your list of priorities? My dad always says, you are what you do, not what you say. Well, what you do makes me cry at night. You grown-ups say you love us, but I challenge you, please, make your actions reflect your words. Thank you.
Wow, just 12 years, and what a great message she delivered. When Saving Suzuki spoke, we all listened. We felt with her. We knew she was right. Now, let's have a closer look at her speech. She began her speech with a salutation, that is, hello, and introducing herself like, I'm Saving Suzuki, speaking for EZO, the Environmental Children's Organization. As she proceeds, Miss Suzuki says, I am only a child, yet I know we are all part of a family. You know what? These kind of expressions make a speech more emotional and personal. Now let's see what are the things we need to pay attention to while giving a speech. First of all, speak for yourself. As an example, here Miss Suzuki says, I am only a child. She uses these I statements throughout and spoke firmly. Secondly, real life experiences lend credibility to your speech. For example, here Ms. Suzuki talks about going out for fishing with her father and her experience in the Vancouver. So we feel with her, right? Thirdly, have conviction. Here Ms. Suzuki feels so strong, she's so convinced of what she's talking. And then fourthly, make the audience a part of your speech. Like, she says, I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together. So, audience also feel with us, okay? And then, body language is one thing you should pay real attention. Like, make sure you have proper body language, proper body posture, and then good gestures, enough gestures, not overacting, okay? And then have enough facial expressions to make your ideas clear to your audience. And lastly, take care of your pronunciation. Pronounce each word correctly. If you pay attention to these many details, I'm sure you can be a fantastic public speaker who creates that wow feeling in your audience. Now, let us listen to one more emotional and persuasive speech delivered by Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg is a Swedish environmental activist who has gained international recognition for promoting the view that humanity is facing an existential crisis arising from climate change. She popularized the school strike for climate, which is also known as Fridays for Future. It is an international movement of school students who skip Friday's classes to participate in demonstrations, to demand action from political leaders to take action to prevent climate change, for the fossil fuel industry to transition to renewable energy.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. The popular idea of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below 1.5 degrees and the risk of setting off irreversible chain reactions beyond human control. 50% may be acceptable to you, but those numbers do not include tipping points, most feedback loops, additional warming hidden by toxic air pollution, or the aspects of equity and climate justice. They also rely on my generation sucking hundreds of billions of tons of your CO2 out of the air with technologies that barely exist. So a 50% risk is simply not acceptable to us, we who have to live with the consequences. To have a 67% chance of staying below a 1.5 degrees of global temperature rise, the best odds given by the IPCC, the world had 420 gigatons of CO2 left to emit back on January 1st, 2018. Today that figure is already down to less than 350 gigatons. How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual and some technical solutions? With today's emissions levels, that remaining CO2 budget will be entirely gone within less than 8.5 years. There will not be any solutions or plans presented in line with these figures here today, because these numbers are too uncomfortable and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us, but the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you. We will not let you get away with this. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. The world is waking up, and change is coming whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Miss Greta was quite emotional when she asked her audience, "How dare you?" Right? Now that you know quite a lot of things about how to deliver a speech, let me give you a few more personal tips to excel your performance. Point number 1 is, we have seen that Miss Suzuki and Miss Greta were reading out their speeches. Maybe because they were in a conference or in a summit, they don't want to miss out any points. But it is always good and impressive to speak from your mind rather than reading out a speech. And then point number 2 is, stand straight. Have a proper body posture. No sagging or slopping your shoulders. And point number 3 is, maintain eye contact with your audience. Look into the eyes of the people when you speak. It shows your confidence. Point number 4 is, keep your feet not too close, not too far. It gives you a proper footing. Avoid shifting your weight from one leg to another. Okay? When you're about to deliver a speech, if you don't have a podium means a stand on which we climb to deliver a speech. If you don't have a podium and if you're standing in public openly, keep your hands like this near your navel button. You keep your hands like this, not very close and show people that you're nervous, nothing like that. Keep it like this so that you can take your hands like this to give enough gestures to your speech and it will come back to you naturally. And remember, never keep your hands at your back. It looks very awkward. So keep your hands near your navel button. Always remember to check your mic before you speak. And then be thorough with what you're going to speak. And if possible, have a lot of practice before you give your speech. As beginners, we need a lot of practice to bring out the best in us. Okay? We have a few activities here. One is that we have seen Ms. Suzuki giving a speech in the United Nations Earth Summit. Like that, when you're back to your school after this corona and all, when your school reopens, you can have environmental club and have a kind of summit or conference in which you can assign roles to your friends. Like one can be a politician, another of your friend can be an environmentalist, and then another person can be maybe a Suzuki or a Greta Thunberg or maybe yourself. And then another person could be a teacher and then a businessman. Like that, assign roles to each person and have a conference, discuss the problems in your environment. You will enjoy it, and not only just for enjoyment, you'll be aware of the problems that is happening around our world. And we can also find out solutions to our problems. Another activity is that collect the pictures from the newspapers related to the problems that is happening in our environment, like maybe plastic or maybe pollution or maybe dumping of waste in public places, whatever it is. Collect pictures related to environmental problems and write headlines to that. And your last activity is to prepare and deliver persuasive speeches. There are 5 topics given in your textbook. One is wildlife conservation, and second is climate changes. The third one is afforestation. The fourth one, endangered species. And the last one is waste management, the 3 R's: reduce, reuse and recycle. Speech prepared for you. Not me, actually my daughter Serene, she is 9 years old, and she will talk to you about waste management, the 3 R's. Now let's listen to Serene.
Hi everyone, I'm Serene. We have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. Our Mother Earth, the only living planet with green valleys and blue waters, lost her beauty and greenery. Yes, she's no longer beautiful. She has been polluted. We have used up all her resources. Now, our existence is in danger. Well, can we stop pollution? To be honest, no. Then what can we do? Waste management is the solution. Awake, arise and act with the golden rules. Reduce, reuse and recycle. We must reduce our consumption and reuse things as much as possible before recycling. It is essential for the future of our planet. Now, let us think, why is recycling the need of the hour? Recycling is the process of waste or used products are reproduced into new products. Most of the things around us can be recycled. Recycling paper and wood saves trees and forests. Recycling plastic means creating less new plastic. Metal recycling reduces mining. It is a great idea to recycle food waste and green waste. Recycling protects ecosystem and wildlife. It cuts down climate change and carbon emissions and other greenhouse gases. Recycling reduces landfill waste. When we recycle, we don't have to burn rubbish. Thus, it saves the earth from pollution. Well, on the whole, recycling keeps waste out of the environment. It also creates a lot of job opportunities. I conclude my speech saying that recycle today for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
So, I hope you understood and enjoyed our session today, and we'll be meeting with the rest of the portions in another video. Till then, it's bye-bye from Tiny Teacher. Thank you very much. I wish you all become great speakers.